Hello, this is my CSC 312 database management term project. This project is about an electrical company's customers. Here's the first table, the customer types, which takes the customer type name, which we will use as the primary key since there only is really two customer types for an electrical company, so we don't really need any like customer type IDs or something. We also have the monthly access charge, which would basically be the flat rate that they charge you every month for electricity, and the kilowatt hour price, which is the price per kilowatt hour. Here are the two insert statements for this table. Here is the customer table. The customer ID is the primary key and identifies every unique customer on this table, and the rest of the attributes are either used to identify said customer or get into contact with him, being these two right here. Except for customer type, of course, because that one we just went over. Here's the meter table. It has the meter ID, or I guess in real life it would be the serial number on the meter. It uniquely identifies every single meter. We have the customer ID so that we can connect who owns this meter. We have the total kilowatt hours used, which is important to know. And then we have the previous reading kilowatt hours, which is the previous total that was on it before the most recent reading. Then we have the meter reading table, which has the reading ID and the reading date, which is the date that someone was sent out to read the meter and get the new total, and the amount that was on the new total. The meter ID and the customer ID are foreign keys for this table. Here is the invoice table. We have the invoice ID, which identifies every invoice, the customer ID so we know who is being sent this, the meter ID so we know which meter is being sent an invoice for. We have the billing period begin, which would begin after the last billing period ended, and then we have the billing period end, which marks the end of when we were end period where we were measuring kilowatt hours used. We have the amount of payment, which is very important for invoices, and the kilowatt hours used in the period. We also have the invoice date, which marks when the invoice was sent. Here is the first trigger. This one this trigger updates the values on the meter so that we don't have to manually change the amount of total kilowatts used on the meter or the previous reading kilowatt hours. These are automatically changed when a new meter reading is inserted. Here is the second trigger, which is significantly bigger. This one took a lot of time to create, and it's designed to automatically find the amount of payment, as you can see from the title here, and it also finds the amount of kilowatt hours used in the period, which you can see as I'm indicating with the cursor. And then we have a bunch of insert statements, and the reason the insert statements right here are ordered this way is because in an electrical company, they would never send an invoice before a meter reading, before they did a meter reading. So I figured it would be good to just like put a meter reading and then an invoice and then a meter reading and an invoice and etc. Here are my select statements for retrieval of data. This one will show every customer and the meter assigned to them. And we will run all of these. Here's all of the customers with their ID, their first name and their last name, and the meter ID that they own. Here is the second select statement, which displays customers along with their newest meter reading. We will execute this one too. This one, it also displays their date in the date of the reading and the amount of kilowatt hours used. This one shows all invoices and includes the customer's full name. Oops. And here's all of them, and they're grouped. No, wait. And they, here are all the invoices sent. If you're wondering about these two, it's because I accidentally clicked on something more than once, and it kind of messed up, but I can fix that later. This one will select customers, their type, rate info, and current total kilowatt hours used from the tables. This selected all of the commercial and then the residential. And here, this select statement shows only customers whose invoice recorded over 600 kilowatt hour usage. As you can see, there's only 5 who didn't use more than 600 in the period. Here is another select statement which matches each meter reading to its corresponding invoice. Let me just grab this, execute it. And then here we go. And that's it for that one. And this one sums all invoice payments for commercial customers only. Excuse me. And here is the totals for that. The reason that there's 91 and then 200 is because I didn't have very many insert statements where people had more than one invoice. That's why this one has 200 and this one has 72. Here is this select statement that finds customers who have more than one meter registered. And it returns our customer IDs and the meter count. I only had so many insert statements to avoid this being around 800 lines of code. And this one calculates how many kilowatt hours each meter increased since the previous reading. Here is the numbers for this. I'm trying to go slow so that you can see all of them. This one displays the invoice along with the rate details from customer types. Let me execute this. This shows invoice ID, customer first name, customer last name, monthly access charge, kilowatt hour price, and kilowatt hours used in period. Again, the 0 and the 0 are where I accidentally inserted two values and didn't execute them properly because I clicked it too many times. I am sorry about that. This select statement shows each customer's most recent meter reading after and it uses a subquery within it, as you can see here. Excuse me. Here's all of them. And this does check out because I know I have 15 total customers. I remember because I put it in. And here is procedures. I have already inserted these procedures and I've already done sample data to retrieve when we call these functions. So I'm just going to execute these function calls. The first function returns all invoices for a specific customer. This one had 2. He had a pretty big difference in kilowatt usage. Here is the second one, and its purpose is to return all invoices for a specific customer. Wait, did we already cover that one? No, I don't think so. Oh, this one adds a reading and an invoice. This is why I had those zeros, because I clicked this too many times. If we click this, it will add another John Doe with 0 on it, I believe. This third function calculates the customer's total kilowatt hours used across invoices in a given year. Again, I have already done sample data for this, so we can execute it. This one calculates it to 510 total usage throughout the year. This one shows all meters assigned to a given customer, and the customer ID is 3, and this person has 2 meters. This function returns the expected bill amount for a given customer and usage amount. We will be calculating it for the first customer with usage of 500, 75.50. This one creates a view, and then I also have the next few are view sample queries, and I've already done select statements for them, so I would just be clicking these. And this one shows each customer with all meters and their total kilowatt hours. Here we go. And this one, view combining customer and invoice info for easy billing reports. Again, the 0 and 0, I apologize. The 2250 is the flat rate. I'm sorry. And here, this select statement, view statement, filters customers so only commercial accounts appear. And as you can see, it shows the customer ID, first name, last name, address, email, phone number, and the customer type. This one does something simple and similar, but it shows it for residential customers. Same as before, except this says residential instead of commercial. And this one shows the most recent meter reading for every meter. Let me execute this one. And there is that data. And this is also, again, with the 1 and the 1 and the 1, I'm sorry. This one is accurate because I have only really put 15 meters in there. So, thank you. This was fun. I hope you liked my database. Thank you.